Hi there, I'm Naathan Fan.
And I'm Paul Kosmola.
And we are the Critical Reviewers. Is this a thing now? I don't think that's going to be a thing.
We're going to shoot the audience.
No, don't do that's a whole slew of...
Oh yeah, there was that guy.
Yeah, and
who
the
did
thing,
that.
and that's
Batman.
Yes, no. He was a bad man. So...
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in Batman, but today
He
we're
was.
reviewing his movie,
Don Jon. Written by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Directed by Joseph Marker, take two. Action, beep, beep. Written by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Directed by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Twist of the tongue.
Yes, exactly.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's an easy name. There was jokes about her being easy on the eyes as well. Scarlett Johansson, as well as Tony Danza's in there, Julianne Moore, and there's a plays his mum, and I can never remember her name. She's a great actress. But they're all great actors. Everyone in this project was fantastic. So let's take a quick moment to say that when we are reviewing this film, there's no way to really do it adequately without revealing some spoilers. Now, granted that these are not huge spoilers, because this isn't one of those plot twisty things where there are huge plot points that will ruin your viewing experience.
But there is a big part of the movie that is not in the trailers at all, or not talked about.
In fact, the trailer really mostly covers like the first part of the movie and then a couple of little tiny moments scattered throughout. So
Aliens.
Aliens? Yes, with blue ink. No.
No. Had it been that, I would have been like,
You would
oh
have been
man.
like, what? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, are you doing? And then John Lithgow shows up, and he does the mind meld thing, and then French Stewart is a dog. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're
Is
just
that
going to say,
copyrighted symbol? Can we do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
don't know.
YouTube will take it down if we can. So, but basically, if you don't want a lot of spoilers,
Don't watch this review.
don't watch this review.
Seriously,
Just-
you clicked on a link that was 20 minutes long.
You weren't expecting some spoilers. Anyways, but just go see it. It is
Okay.
worth seeing in theaters. If you want to wait for it on DVD, yeah, you could. It doesn't have to be viewed in this epic scope, but it's worth catching a look at for sure.
Yeah.
So catch it, Don Jon. That being said,
Plot!
we clapped at the same time.
We did.
Plot. So let's take a quick little look at the plot. Quick
We're
little look at the
synchronized.
plot is about the main character, Don Jon, who is aptly named because he's good with the ladies. Don Jon is a Guido living in New Jersey. I hope that's not an offensive term, but that's more or less what he is. Like, what do you call him? An Italian bro? Guido.
Italian bro.
And, you know, as you can see in the advertisements. By the way, advertisements. Advertisements. Quick word about the advertisements. Basically, like, there's only a few things I care about. My life, you know, my body, my parent, my car, my girls, my family, my church, my girls, my porn.
Wow, he did that.
Yes, I did. And he goes through and he starts repeating them, and he gets faster and faster and faster until, like, all of a sudden things stop and you see Scarlett Johansson, which to me made me think that a majority of the movie was just going to be him wandering around aimlessly until he met this girl who gives him focus in his life. And that wasn't this at all. He meets her in like the first 5 minutes, and you only hear the chain of things repeated the once. That's it. So really, I'm glad that, you know, the trailer didn't give away the highlights of all the movies. I hate it when it's a romantic comedy and you see the two main characters kissing. You're like, why would you? We know now. I don't need to see this movie.
Well,
because
that's
I know
romantic
the-
comedy. In words of Patton Oswalt, all romantic comedies should be trying to fuck.
Yes.
Will they fuck? Probably. From the creators of Meh.
And the
Directors of Meh
comes
comes
Meh.
Meh. Patton, if you're watching,
love you.
we
You're
love you
hilarious.
so much. You're great.
One of the best stand-up comedians ever. I listen to a fair
And a
amount of
great
stand-up
actor.
comedy. And you're a damn good actor,
Patton Oswalt.
Please come and
We
do a
will
film
link
with
this
us.
to your Twitter.
Yes.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Don Jon.
So, sorry. He's so good that we took a moment out of reviewing someone else's thing just to talk about him. If you don't know who Patton Oswalt is, look him up. He's amazing. Patton Oswalt. Oswald?
Oswalt.
Good.
I think.
Oswalt. Like Oswald Copperpot? No, Oswalt. So, ADHD.
God, wow.
Yeah, I just
He
went.
did play the penguin.
What? Yeah, he did in
did.
the
He
college
did.
humor sketches. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Ah!
So the point we're trying to
Anyway.
make. So Don Jon. So he meets Scarlett Johansson, who kind of breaks his routine. I mean, we get the idea that he has a routine because he's got a freaking monologue about it, and you see that he's got a routine, and she breaks it, and so he's used to just like taking home girls, and he doesn't take her home, and he kind of obsesses over her. So he managed to chat with a few guys at the bar where he works
Facebook
and
stalks her.
finds her, and then they hang out, and then they start to get to know each other. And she, almost right off the bat, like on the second or third date, what's a good way to put this? Lets him
Sexually-
dry hump her and motivates and convinces him or suggests to him that, oh, I should meet your parents, you should meet my parents, you should meet your friends. So basically,
Go back to school.
Go back to school, get a degree because that's so sexy while he's dry humping her, and then he climaxes. And it's interesting. And obviously, from the trailers, he says that, he loves his porn, and he really does. It is a rather big part of the movie.
Like
is
a good
liking his porn.
20% of the movie is just porn.
Yeah, and
Tasteful porn,
in the best
but
way.
porn.
No. Well, the porn itself isn't tasteful. The way that they showed it, like how much of it they showed, and
Like
the artful cropping above all of the,
The artful thing to get around the censors, in other words, because
it was well done. Anyways, but he so he meets this girl, and she obviously catches him. She starts going back to school, where he meets Julianne Moore, who is just sobbing uncontrollably, and he bumps into her and feels awkward, and they have a conversation about how
it just occurred to me, I don't know her character name. Did she have a name in the movie?
She must have. I can't think of it though.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he meets Julianne Moore, and we're just like, okay, well that's either gonna go nowhere, or she's gonna be this weird friend because she catches him. Okay, so Scarlett Johansson catches him watching porn, and he manages to talk his way out of it. Which in the trailers it doesn't look like that was good. It looks like, oh, that's it, derailment. But no, in the first that's maybe the end of not even the end of the first act.
That is about the first act.
End of the first act.
Yeah.
It catches him watching porn, and he talks his way out of it. And you're just like, oh god, because he's like, no, baby, do I seem like the kind of guy who needs porn is for losers? And
liar revealed story.
yeah, and you're just like, oh god, that's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, and it's gonna happen. It's a plot point. You can't avoid it, but that's the only.
Thankfully, it's not too long.
And it's not and it's not like that's the end of the second act is him getting caught for the second time in his lie, and then the third act. A very typical movie would have been gets caught with porn is the end of the first act, gets caught lying about the porn to begin with is the end of the second act, and then the third act is about him trying to get her back, which it isn't, which is nice.
It's great. Middle of the second act
is like that moment, and the breakup, and then him just trying to figure out his life from that point onward. And he's not completely wrecked that he's lost the love of his life. He does state several times that she's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's so much of the fact where you realize that how much appearances and beauty kind of means to him. And so when he starts to kind of trail away from that, then you realize it's character growth.
Character growth.
So then
and not
starts,
just this kind.
Yes, and he starts confiding. Is this considered a character? So he starts confiding in Julianne Moore, and by confiding I mean banging her in her car, and that happens. That happens. It just happens right off the bat because they start off with this really awkward kind of
she is sort of like the mentor character, like the wise
kind
older
of
one who's like, well, no, this is how life really is. You're kind of a dick, and you should,
And in
try
college,
this.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, she catches she goes up to talk to him for the first time since he caught her crying hysterically, and she happens to notice that he's watching porn on his mobile, and she's like, "What are you watching? Porn, or people pretending to fuck on your phone or whatever it is?" And then as a joke, she gets him a Dutch porn DVD, and so it kicks off this very interesting this relationship could go anywhere, but there's definitely no chemistry. Are they going to fucking cheat on his girlfriend kind of thing? No, it's not that at all.
Nope.
But then they do, and then they wind up he kind of winds up seeking solace in her, and she winds up imparting wisdom, and both of them kind of growing a little bit from it, and they're being give and take for once, which is mirrored in the fact that he likes his porn, in which it is only take. He just takes as much porn as he needs and doesn't have to give anything back.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson's character is
a controlling bitch.
A controlling
We realize,
bitch.
which is a wisdom that is a nugget of wisdom dropped by the best character to have done that.
Yep.
Great. Just full of wonderful moments that are kind of expected and yet kind of not expected.
A large part of the movie was just these almost symbolic moments.
Yeah.
Him cleaning the window and then re-cleaning.
Yeah, every once in a while you get these...
Rescrubbing the dishes, just a little bit. These, at first glance, these slices of life, and then when you think
look
about
back,
it...
you're like, oh, these are mirroring. It's parallel, parallel.
Yeah, and it's
the character in his inside is...
Little things like that are great.
Yeah, yeah. Like when you always see him, like you do see these exact same frames of his life where like he's walking up to the church. It's always the same angle. And part of his weekly routine is going to church with his family and then having confession. And one of the ways in which he kind of gauges his life is how many Hail Marys and how many Our Fathers he has to do. Which is, fair because, the worse you are, the more you have to confess for and the more you have to do to make up for that. And so that's played off beautifully. There's a moment where he's walking to the gym because he does a lot of workout, and then he goes away from, he walks down the hallway. Instead of him going to work on his own, he goes and plays basketball.
With more people.
With more people. So it's a social thing, and you realize, it's growth. And the movie ends more or less.
He's less focused about himself.
Yeah, he's less focused about himself.
That's so cute.
But it's not like a, baby, I need you back. Only if you swear you change, I swear, baby. Da, 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 da. It's not that. And
Was
it's
that
not
the
a...
Tetris thing?
No, I was going for like a romantic strings and choral, and in my head it was gorgeous. And look out, John Williams, if I ever manage to get these voices out of here. And it's not like he realizes that Julianne Moore was the other girl who was there for him the whole time. He does wind up, the movie concludes with him in a relationship with Julianne Moore, but not in a, I found the love of my life and I'm never going to let her go. It's like a, you know what, right now we're good for each other. I get to lose myself in her. I'm learning about giving and taking, what it's like to actually be in a relationship where you care about someone and being healthy, and I don't need to rely on porn anymore.
Yeah.
And
healthy relationships.
Yeah, basically ends on a healthy relationship, and I think it's not necessarily implied, but maybe inferred that this isn't it. This is by no means, they could get married, doubtful, but they are definitely both going to be in a healthier place after this for their next relationship, whatever comes next. And so in that sense, it was very mature. It wasn't a silly, frivolous Hollywood ending for the sake of a Hollywood ending, but it also wasn't leaving a lot of loose ties because you're a lazy writer. So I, all in all, thought it was very maturely written, and I enjoyed it a lot because it was just enough from the departure of Hollywood for it to be original, well, relatively original and good and worthy of merit, but not so much so that it alienates you as an audience. Like, this isn't what I'm used to at all. It's just a good balance of both.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt does a great job as an actor.
Yes, really does.
Everything's a little bit pushed into sort of the archetypical sense, but it's not pushed over the top, and it's just...
You say pushed because he's not a regular character that you normally...
He's ever so slightly larger than life. He's more of a... He's a character, but he's also a caricature of this kind of person.
He's a character I would imagine seeing. For those, if you've
like
never
seen... Scarlett Johansson's character is also a character archetype of this kind of character.
Yeah,
like
the
kind of
the New Jersey attitude girl kind of a
type.
thing.
And it's pushed.
But then
it's
again,
a little bit
it's
hyperbolic. It's amazing.
It is.
It's really good.
Not I see what he's saying, because it's not like a regular Joes. It is regular Joes in a slightly characterized sense. They are Guidos. He is an Italian living in New Jersey. He's close with his family. He goes to church.
My favorite character.
He goes to clubs and bars and things.
In the movie is the sister.
The sister.
He's got
the sister who's just on her phone.
Always on the phone. Never says a word.
Just always
doesn't
on
pay attention
her
to anything.
Phone.
Then at the end of the movie has the best line. So
I don't know about the best line, but
it's a good line. Like
she definitely gets her moment. You're waiting, like you kind of wait for it, but you're not so much like I'm waiting for her to do something awesome. But you figure like this is gonna
of
pay
the
off
people
somehow.
who can say something awesome.
Anyways, it is. I applaud him because he not only wrote it, but he acted in it fantastic. Because it's so easy to take a character like that, like, hey, what's up, guys, and make it very, very over the top. But he played it just enough that it was believable, in my opinion. Now, granted, I've never lived in New Jersey. I don't know any Guidos per se. Well, there was that one kid in high school who was like a Guido. But he was, it was like what I imagine people who, when you watch Jersey Shore, there's the people who are like, oh my God, this is insane over the top. I can't believe there's people actually like this out there. But in this case, you're like, I can see that there's someone like this. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's believable. I believe that there are people who live like this, and just really good. It was good. The acting was good. The writing was good.
Cinematography was basically a commercial. It's good, but it's a commercial.
Which is,
and you can see it from the trailers. I mean, the movie sequence feels like a commercial for the movies.
Yeah, which isn't that what it was supposed to feel like? It was supposed to be this over-glamorized,
No, I'm saying it did exactly what it was supposed to.
Yeah.
It also feels like a commercial.
Yeah. So from a cinematography standpoint, that's his opinion. I loved the music, actually. I think Naathan
Didn't pay any attention at all to the music, which is
especially
good
at the
because
beginning
that's
was- yeah.
exactly its job. We're not supposed to notice it.
Yes. I did notice
Well,
it,
no,
but in a good
the
way.
only
Like,
thing I noticed was the car scene where it's like, da, 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 da.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Good vibrations. But that's not his.
was
That's
good.
not like
That was
that's not from the score guy. There's
Yeah. I don't remember any of the music, which is a good sign.
I do. It was good.
Well,
Just enough for me to take note and say, oh, it's good. I like it. Not, sometimes you're like, the hell's going on? Like in the 80s, if you ever go back and watch an 80s movie, like Princess Bride, the music kind of ruins it for me. I'll go back and watch Princess Bride, like, this music is awful. He's got like 13 MIDI tracks going on right now. Yeah.
yeah.
You won't be able to unhear it next time you watch Princess Bride. You're like, what is this music? Anyway, so
This is a great movie. You should see it on Blu-ray.
is there anything that we're missing about the movie? We talked about Paul had a slight issue with a couple of moments of focus.
One or two things, like not that big. And the scene where it's most prevalent works to the movie's advantage because it's the first time whatever her name is,
Julianne
Moore and Joseph Gordon-Levitt make love.
You just mumble his name and hope that you got it close to right or that nobody notices. I'm calling you on that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Thank you.
JGL.
The first time they make love instead of bang. It's shaky cam and out of focus a little bit.
A little bit. He says shaky cam and out of focus like this is from
shake-
Jarhead or something.
No,
it's not that bad.
No. Shaky cam was used fine. It did its job correctly. I don't like shaky cam just from a stylistic standpoint, but this is probably the appropriate use of it, and I hate to admit it. Just hate to admit it. But there was at least one other focus issue that was like, oh, okay. He didn't notice any of it.
I didn't notice
but
any focus issues.
It was fine.
Did we cover everything?
We covered everything, and we did it kind of quickly.
Yeah, we did this time.
Our reviews are becoming shorter, more concise. We're learning.
Updated. Update complete? What is it?
Upgrade complete.
Upgrade complete. Yeah.
Upgrade complete.
Upgrade complete. So just something for all you Whovians out there. Yes.
Okay.
So Peter Capaldi, Glasgow. Woo.
Anyway, I'm Paul Kosmala.
I'm Naathan Fan.
Like, subscribe, share to us. We are
The Critical Reviewers. Why did you wait?
Verse. It's a running gag.
Is it though? Is
No, it's only funny to me.
it? Yep.
Like, I watch it and I laugh. I laugh at your pain.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me the least. Yes, like, subscribe, share. Please. Suggest movies that you'd like for us to review.
Comment box.
Comment. Is that what that is down there? Gee, I hope I don't fall out of here. Because you imagine if I started tumbling down the comments and I tried to grab onto some hater's troll or something like that and climb my way back up, hit the pause button so I could climb back into the frame.
I kind of want to make that video now. It's just hilarious.
It's late. I need sleep.
All right, take care.
Why am I copying you? This isn't my gesture. This isn't my thing.